Scientists discovered that walking through a doorway literally erases your short-term memory. Not weakens it, not disrupts it, erases it, and it happens every single time you walk through a door. You've experienced this hundreds of times and never knew there was a name for it. It's called the doorway effect, and once you understand what your brain is actually doing, you'll never walk through a door the same way again. Here's the situation you already know. You're sitting on the couch and you remember something you need from the kitchen. You get up, you walk to the kitchen, you stand there with absolutely no idea why you came. You walk back to the couch, and the moment you sit down, you remember exactly what it was. This has happened to you so many times, you've probably started to wonder if something is wrong with your memory. Nothing is wrong with your memory. Your brain is working exactly as designed, and the door is the reason. In 2011, researchers at the University of Notre Dame ran a series of experiments to test this exact phenomenon. They gave participants objects to carry and tasks to remember. Then they had them walk through doorways. Not long distances, not complicated routes, just through a door. The moment participants crossed a doorway, their ability to recall the task dropped significantly. Even in virtual reality, the effect was the same. Walking through a virtual door in a computer simulation caused the same memory drop as walking through a real one. The door didn't have to be real to erase the memory. The brain just needed to register that a boundary had been crossed. So what is actually happening inside your brain? Your brain organizes your experiences into what scientists call event segments. Think of your life like a movie with chapters. Every time something changes, your location, your activity, your goal, your brain starts a new chapter. It files away the previous chapter and opens a fresh one. Scientists call this an event boundary, and a doorway is one of the strongest event boundaries your brain recognizes. The moment you step through a door, your brain interprets it as a signal. New environment, new chapter, close the last file, and the information from the previous chapter, including the reason you got up in the first place, gets filed away into a part of your memory that's harder to access quickly. It's not gone permanently. That's why you remember it when you sit back down in the same spot. Returning to the original environment reopens the original chapter, and suddenly the memory is right there again. Your brain stored it with the previous location, and when you return to that location, it handed it back to you. Now here's what makes this even more interesting. Researchers found that the effect gets stronger the more doorways you pass through. Walking through one door caused a noticeable memory drop. Walking through 3 doors in a row caused a significantly larger one. Each new boundary layered another filing action on top of the last, each one pushing the original thought further from the surface. This is why you can walk from one end of a building to the other on a simple errand and arrive with no memory of why you went. Every door along the way was your brain saying, "New chapter, file it away." But here's where it gets fascinating. The doorway effect isn't a flaw. It's a feature. Your brain doesn't have unlimited processing power. It can't hold every detail of every previous moment in active memory while also paying attention to where you are right now. So it created a system. When you move into a new environment, your brain clears the active memory to make room for whatever comes next. It prioritizes the present over the past. And for most of human history, that was exactly the right thing to do. When your ancestors moved from one location to another, the most important information was what was in front of them, not what they were thinking about back at camp. Your brain evolved to reset at boundaries because in the wild, that reset could save your life. The problem is that your brain can't tell the difference between crossing a doorway inside your house and crossing into genuinely new territory. It uses the same ancient system for both. And so every time you walk from your bedroom to your kitchen, your brain fires the same reset it would have used crossing from the forest into an open plain. New environment, clear the cache, pay attention to what's here. The thought you were holding gets filed, and you stand in the kitchen wondering why you're there. Now here's the practical part. Researchers found 3 things that reduce the doorway effect significantly. The first is visualization. Before you get up, picture yourself completing the task in the new room. The more vivid the image, the better the memory survives the boundary crossing. The second is verbalization. Say out loud what you're going for before you move. Saying it creates an additional memory trace that's harder for the event boundary to file away. The third is the most interesting one. Researchers found that keeping an object associated with the task in your hand while you cross the boundary significantly reduces the memory drop. Your brain uses physical objects as memory anchors. Holding the thing keeps the chapter open. So the next time you need to remember why you're walking somewhere, say it out loud, picture it clearly, and carry something with you if you can. You're not fighting your memory. You're working with a system that was never designed for the inside of a modern house. Your brain is ancient, your floor plan is new, and every door in your home is a boundary your brain was built to treat like the edge of the known world. That's not a flaw. That's just how far back your brain goes. Has this ever happened to you at the worst possible moment? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe to Whisper Files for more things your brain never told you.